What's up YouTube, it's your boy Merit the Ferret. Not Mary Ferry like that. Some guy was hating in the comment section talking about marry something else. I'm talking about, bro, shut your mouth, bro. But anyway, it's your boy Merit, aka Merit the Ferret. Today we got a new video by tommyg inside Chicago's massive migrant crisis. Let's get straight into it. Let's see what she's saying.
Me llamo tommyg, estoy en Chicago con los Venezuelans.
I can do it really. Bro, that's a hard edit. That's like New York. De donde está mi amigo? Pendejo. That's like New York, even Chicago.
People get in their stores. Enjoy this journey.
Okay, let's see. Tell us about the crisis. W's, yeah, he's got a kid coming on the way. W son.
Let's first start by covering what has been going on in the country responsible for most of the migrants, Venezuela.
Okay.
For years, Venezuela has been suffering from hyperinflation. It began in the 1980s with double-digit inflation, and in 2019, the Central Bank of Venezuela estimates that inflation reached over 53 million%. Among the list of reasons of why this has happened is rampant government corruption and extreme amounts of money.
Man, they be taking our money.
This has resulted in massive shortages of food, medicine, and access to electricity. So, in order to survive, millions of Venezuelans have resorted to fleeing to other countries for a chance at a better life.
Immigration,
Like Colombia,
immigrants,
Panama, Peru, and the United States. To get to the United States, migrants have to brave the Darien Gap, where they not only have to contend with snake bites and drowning, but also armed paramilitary groups and migrants. Then they have to pass through the Panamanian jungle on foot and have to survive going through Mexico, where they may be robbed and beaten by both Mexican police and cartel. And finally, they make it to the US. And in places like Texas, government officials have decided to bus migrants to sanctuary cities like New York and Chicago to deal.
Wait, so when they come to the United States, do they keep them here or do they send them back? Because if you send them back, it's kind of sad. You're sending them back into poverty.
With the issue. Today, we go into the migrant camps, speak to the people, and speak to local residents on how the crisis is affecting.
I heard they just sent them to.
Let's.
Okay, 11 a.m. in Chicago. Yeah, noise. Air Forces.
So we're downtown Chicago. This is a nice, fancy area of the downtown. But hidden in plain sight is actually the hotel that's hosting the most migrants across the whole city.
Oh, so they keep them in a hotel?
1,500 migrants in the Inn of Chicago. And that's going to be our first stop of the day to investigate this story and see what the hell is going on with this migrant crisis that's hitting the country. This is something that a lot of American cities are going to have to contend with. Chicago and New York are in emergency situations. Their budgets are going crazy. They're going to be heavily in debt because of this crisis. We're going to have to figure out how we want to operate as a country. More than 17,000 migrants are currently calling Chicago home and are being housed in places like the
I see where the Americans can come from though, because think about it. The people coming to their country without the permission, they're thinking, wait, they're not from our place. Why do we have to look after them? But on the other side, in the media, it's like, yo, we have to look after them because it's a good deed, you know what I'm saying? But the government shit like that, they actually in their head, like in the back of their head, they actually want them to go back to where they came from, but they can't do that because it just gives America a bad image, you know what I'm saying?
Airport, police stations, universities, and other temporary shelters, which leads some Chicago residents to wonder why they aren't helping Chicago's homeless in the same way that they're helping Chicago's migrants. Also, just a side note, a migrant is a person that is here on temporary work. I don't even know if the word migrant is the appropriate term for these Venezuelan folks.
He speaks the language. You need to explain how you know. You need to explain how you know to speak the language.
Fue difícil encontrar un trabajo en Venezuela. Muy difícil conseguir trabajo en Venezuela. ¿Qué fue tu trabajo antes de la crisis? Construcción. ¿Qué es tu experiencia en América ahora? Tengo un poco de haber llegado, pero es diferente a lo que uno está acostumbrado a ver. ¿Cuántos días está en Estados Unidos? Tengo una semana apenas que llegué. ¿Qué quieres ser tu futuro? Para poder estar aquí legalmente y conseguir un buen trabajo. Señor, ¿quieres compartir tu Dígame sobre tu viaje aquí.
Bueno, en el tren, pasando la selva.
¿Conoces la bestia?
Damn.
Claro, lo más peligroso fue Monterrey, Reynosa. Te quitan la cantidad de dinero, te matan, te quitan los niños.
¿El cartel o la policía?
No, los carteles.
¿Sientes más tranquilo ahora en los Estados Unidos?
That's
¿Qué
messed up, man.
disfruta más sobre
That's
Estados
messed up.
Unidos?
De seguridad, tu país seguro.
¿Eres con tu familia aquí?
Sí, tengo a mis 2 hijos y mi mujer.
¿Por qué viajas aquí a Estados Unidos?
Yo vengo de Colombia. Colombia se está poniendo igual que Venezuela ya. No tenía trabajo.
Oh,
Todo
Colombia
se
was
está
good.
poniendo caro. No se consigue trabajo.
Look, Rodriguez
¿La
and shit
viaje
like
a la
that.
bestia?
Sí, claro.
¿Con tu hija?
Con mi hija. 3 días viajando en la bestia con mi hija y 3 días en la selva del Darién. Con mi hija y mi otro hijo y mi señora.
¿Qué piensas sobre Estados Unidos?
Aquí muy bien, gracias a Dios, todo bien.
Nah, man, they're enjoying it here. It's gonna get better for them, man. It's gonna get
Are
better.
you a local Chicagoan?
I am not. I am from about an hour away.
Should we continue to be sanctuary cities, or should we say, hey, enough is enough?
But we should continue to be a sanctuary city, and instead of complaining about the symptoms of why we have people coming in and what a strain it is on our systems, our resources, our communication, our transportation, we should help the antecedent issues with it. One, help the people find a way.
Wait a minute. How did they actually get to America? Like, I know they get there by boat, but like, shouldn't like, I want to see how like the sea, like them coming off the sea and shit like that. I want to see that from because yo, and when they get off, who meets them there? Is it the government or is it just local authorities? You know what I'm saying? I want to see that shit, man.
To make their countries better,
need to show-
help the
you
people
need to
find
show
a
that-
way to assimilate in society, not just coming into the larger cities, but also into different parts of the U.S. and even other countries too.
The biggest holder of the migrants in the city is just down the street. How is it impacting the city right now?
I have some friends who, some of the migrants are staying next door to them. They're struggling with that a little bit. One day it's empty building, next day there's a community there, and they're complaining about the noise, they're complaining about some of the behavior. Kind of it's a tough situation because you feel sorry for individuals who are trying to make a better life for themselves. So it's like no one's fault, but then it's not a good situation for anybody. This country has a homeless issue. Now you can build tents and find places for people that wasn't here 2 weeks ago. What's this issue that you got homelessness in this country that you can't find money to do?
It looks like they're putting them up in like the fancy hotels too. That's what I thought was kind of interesting. It's not like they're putting people in the Super 8 motel.
Well, it's not premier. The location is, but it's like what's available. That was a hotel that's empty, so it's like, okay.
I know that of the projected city budget, it's supposed to be over 500 million in deficit next year. A third of it's going to be because of the migrant issue. Do you think there's going to be more awareness or protest in Chicago? Because I see some communities that are fiercely against it.
For them to just sit up here with this crap and we're supposed to listen to it.
I'm the deputy mayor for immigrant, migrant, and refugee rights.
As a black man, you shouldn't be doing that, bro. You fought to your ancestors fought for you to be here, bro. And you're not fighting for other people to be here as well, bro. Like, bro, that's actually ungrateful, bro. Like, yo, that's disgusting.
These decisions need to be brought to the community.
How can you come into a community and dump people in our community? This is not fair.
It's going to destroy our
Do you
business.
own the community,
It's
you
gonna
know?
destroy our hopes and dreams.
Some communities that are fiercely poor.
We should continue to be a sanctuary city.
So guys, I think I misspoke. I looked up Chicago residents happy about the migrant shelter and could only find protest videos. So looks like no one actually in the city is happy about it.
$500 million, that's a lot. Where was that before? Why
Exactly.
is this migrant thing all of a sudden money is falling out of the tree?
Obviously, there's a crisis at the border. Governor Abbott is shipping about 40 or 50 people from Texas every single day. How do you feel about Governor Abbott doing that?
It's sort of like, come on, man. You know what I mean? But then you say, okay, well, I want you to feel the pain that I'm feeling, right? I understand that, but it seems like that he's trying to make it difficult for you versus turn it into a more political statement to show you up versus trying to really be helpful.
Do you think Chicago should continue to be a sanctuary city, I should say?
I think it has to be. I run the Chicago Marathon every year, and we talk about, oh, you run through all these different ethnic neighborhoods.
You think about it, this just doesn't apply to this, whatever the name, not my bad, but whatever the names are. It doesn't just apply to them. It applies to other migrants that want to come to the US as well. You know what I'm saying? So like, you need to think about both parts and shit like that.
So one minute we're saying we're this big international city, and then you can't be a big international city and not be welcome.
Ocurrido en Venezuela. Why are they taken to the most dangerous
Es la falta de gobierno. Piensa que Maduro
why couldn't they get taken to a place like LA?
o no?
No, ellos son los que llevan el control de todo, de máquinas las controlan ellos, es la única forma que puedan ganar.
¿Qué es tu sueño de un trabajo?
De un trabajo estable y estar bien aquí.
¿Tú compras este coche en Estados Unidos?
Sí.
¿Cuánto cuesta?
$3,000. Aquí en Estados Unidos tú trabajas y tienes todo, carro, moto, casa, todo.
¿Cómo peligroso es este barrio?
Un poco peligroso.
¿Conoces personas que fue robado?
Sí,
claro.
Sí, a mí me robaron. A un amigo también.
Escucho que fue robado. Llevaron el catalizador. Cuando el carro estaba parado allá frente a la escuela, se metieron y cortaron. ¿Cómo es tu experiencia en Estados Unidos ahora? Es un país...
Well, was that the political people that robbed the oldest?
¿Qué piensas sobre socialistas y comunistas? Socialismo resulta ser como un cáncer.
That's tough, man.
Hola. We can't be here. Oh, some of the guys invited us in. I don't know. Chicago is really cutting down access here. I get it. Me gusta tu Jordans. ¿Cuántas semanas está aquí en Estados Unidos?
1 year, 3 months.
¿Qué es tu experiencia en Estados Unidos?
Una experiencia buena.
Hay algunas personas que están enojados. Ellos dicen que hay personas sin casa que están americanos, veterans de guerreros que no reciben dinero o casas, y ellos ven hombres de Venezuela reciben cuartos y más y ellos están enojados. ¿Qué piensas sobre esto?
Solo se ve aquí lo superficial.
Black people are treating them, and white people treat us black years ago. Kind of hypocritical, I'm being honest.
Una camilla pequeña.
Really? So they learn to ride the bike.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola.
¿Qué estás cocinando?
Pequeños.
Muy rico y sabroso.
Sabroso.
¿Disfrutas tu vida en Estados Unidos?
Sí, trabajando para la familia.
Fried hot dog.
Muchas gracias por la comida, muy sabroso.
Very tasty. How did you learn the language?
El señor más guapo en todo de Chicago aquí, ¿Cómo es vida en Chicago? Más
Getting a haircut,
tiempo y seguro.
Sí, seguro.
¿Cuánto cuesta para un cortar de pelo?
Corte, 40, 35.
No necesito un cortado, no aquí, pero aquí sí.
Hey, yo! Trying to cut his pubes off?
Dice que es un salva aquí.
This is a jungle. Damn, backflip. This is hard, man.
¿Puedes mudar tu boot como esto?
Hey, yo, what's going on?
¿Conoces twerking?
Yes, but no.
¿Eres un cocinero?
Sí.
Para vivir aquí, ¿cuántos dólares por día necesita?
20 la hora, sería bueno.
Tiene un buen día, okay? So this has been very interesting to see. I mean, these people are making the best of their situation. They're making do. They're cooking in the park, they're building community, and they're doing the best they can. So you can't really fault the Venezuelans. We would do the same exact thing in their shoes. And literally everyone we've talked to, all they want to do is be able to work. That's all anyone ever said. No one said, I want a Lamborghini, I want a mansion. Let's continue this journey. Well, Chicago welcomed me. How much is this ticket gonna be? $75 ticket.
There's nobody issue. What do I have access to the internet?
And just a block away, we got the migrant crisis happening. What is that like experiencing that in your neighborhood?
I believe that the city of Chicago should have did a little bit more for the residents, but it's like there's no order over here.
Some people are upset because they're saying, you know what, there's a lot of Americans here that need help. We have some really tough neighborhoods, we have veterans, we have homeless, that we're not really taking care of. But hey,
the homeless people I know the homeless people are pissed right now. They're like, how come they're getting home? We're not getting home. They're like, yo, people struggle.
And I see the homeless crisis happening in Chicago. In the winter time we're passing out blankets, but not trying to get into a heated place. I believe that the funds that's been spent for the migrants should have been spent for the residents here, stabilize them, and then move on to helping others.
So they say Chicago's going to be over $500,000 in debt, and a third of that issue is going to be because of the migrant crisis. What does that make you think?
The taxpayers.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't support Trump, but I did support he wasn't bringing over more to the United States of America.
Should Chicago remain a sanctuary city?
I think that we should remain a sanctuary city under certain terms and laws, but not just busing 15,000 people over a day or no place to put them.
Joe Biden, man, do a better job.
How has the Venezuelan crisis impacted your life? They're right over there. There's them. How has it impacted?
Anybody coming to your house and say with you and you're scared.
You know what they're doing?
That junkie.
If you knew me, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know me.
Yeah.
So it was kind of awkward, yeah.
Do you think Chicago should still be a sanctuary city?
Oh, it always is a sanctuary
Like a
city.
You want
junkie.
more people to come in?
They ain't got a problem them coming. It's you staying without you paying.
When you see the Chicago government handing out tons of money, hundreds of millions
Staying
of
without
dollars to
paying.
migrants, but then we have our
Crazy.
homeless, we have our tough neighborhoods, we have our veterans, where does that make you feel?
Where the money going?
Just down the street, there's hundreds of migrants. Across the city, there's thousands of migrants. How has it impacted your life as a Chicago resident?
It hasn't affected me though. I don't have no problem with it.
Are you glad that Chicago is a sanctuary city? So Governor Abbott from Texas, he's been sending migrants that arrive there. He's been sending 40 or 50 of them at a time in a bus, and now it's built up to thousands of migrants. What is your message if you could talk to Governor Abbott?
What you do for others, you should do for everybody. I believe that everybody needs help.
The next president that runs goes on a platform of closing down our borders. Would doing that make you want to vote for him?
Nah, that would make me vote for him.
All right, folks, we brought you an inside look to the Chicago migrant crisis. Thank you for watching, and as always, love you. See you next week.
Don't be a video, man. Don't be a video, man. Don't be a video, man. That's crazy, man. But yo, United States, Chicago, you guys need to fix up, man. You guys are putting all this money in, but where's it going? You guys got money on in Chicago on your whole ass. You know what I'm saying? But yo, don't be Tommy G, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm kind of late to the video, 2 days, but yo, it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys really know what time it is, and yeah, man. I'm out.